Hello, friend. Welcome to a SNUBS video. If you have not watched our actual Mount Rushmore of ice cream flavors video, go check it out. Link right there. Then come back and watch this because there will be spoilers for what we had on our Mount Rushmore in this video.
Chocolate, vanilla,
and strawberry.
We agreed. And then you brought the nasty chocolate mint.
Mint chocolate chip. Yep. Yes. And you went with Neapolitan, which is basically double dipping on the first three.
But everybody loves it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
And we say we don't let our personal feelings mixed in.
Yeah.
In this list.
Yeah.
And that's why I didn't bring this up. My favorite ice cream being butter pecan. And it's my mom's favorite too. And that's probably why I like it. And it was one of my grandma's favorite, which she wasn't a big ice cream person, but she would have butter pecan. But then I started realizing that there are other individuals around me in this world that enjoy the flavor of the butter pecan ice cream. So I think it at some point could become one of those and maybe debunk Neapolitan. In my case,
I think it's Neapolitan.
Well, it actually is Napolitano. So butter pecan, that would be my first snub. That I said no, I'm not gonna go that just because I like it. But still,
that is an interesting snub. So in the first video, I mentioned some of these studies and especially Americans, and then one of them is British, ranking what their favorites were. And I was very surprised at the butter pecan. I wouldn't have even thought top 10 until I went to the stats. It, again, ranked 3, 3, 3, tied for 4, and 6. So only one of those 5 studies has it outside of the top 4. It's really the iconicness that got strawberry in over butter pecan for me. So I think what it would need to do to get into my Mount Rushmore is a part of it's going to be the personal thing, right? In my personal experience in Ohio and then in Massachusetts, I wouldn't even have thought it to be one that I would consider. Like if I didn't look at these studies, it wouldn't even make the 10 or so that I usually initially
It wasn't
consider.
in your radar.
Yeah, it wasn't even on my radar. So I think a part of that is it apparently is a much bigger thing in the South. So I would need it to not just dominate the South. I would need it to influence the North a little bit more because in 2 states experience I've had, living in Ohio for, 9 years now and then Massachusetts for my whole upbringing up through 18.
You never heard of it?
I mean, I had heard of it, but it wasn't...
It wasn't a thing.
It wasn't something that I would think to be on the Mount Rushmore for sure.
Yeah, it was with the other categories.
So the other thing it could do is dominate the South so outright that when I looked at states' favorite ice cream flavors, it to come up a lot. When I did look, only 2 or 3 states chose it, and some of the southern states still chose chocolate and some of those other things over it. Which is part of my reasoning, which by the way, just a little fun fact, when the states were asked what they preferred, chocolate or vanilla, 32 states and Washington, D.C. went with chocolate and 18 with vanilla. So just so you know.
Are those the more vanilla states?
Yeah, they were all the vanilla boring states that do nothing, like Idaho,
like Iowa.
Iowa, yeah, all their potatoes and their vanilla ice cream. Just kidding.
It's a joke. It's a joke. We're just joking. Going back to butter pecan.
Yep.
I almost don't want it to be in the Mount Rushmore.
Because you want to be different.
Yeah, well,
I can see that.
It
feels special to you.
Yeah, it feels special. It's like, no, just stay down.
Yeah,
maybe it's the hipster in me.
Yeah, it must be. The first snub we both have, really, though, is each other's. 4th one. So for me, I snubbed the Neapolitan.
Yeah.
Now, part of my reasoning is just that to me, that is...
Cheating?
Yeah, it is, but it isn't. Because it really is its own thing, but it really is just strips of the 3 other ones in it. So really, I guess it would need to not feel like cheating for me to put it on there. Otherwise, if I knew that were an option, and I had to pick that 4th slot, because I kept mentioning, okay, in my brain, I imagine there's 1, 2, or 3 ice creams. Which one is it? Which 2 is it? Which 3? Then Neapolitan could be there. So really, it just needs to not feel like cheating. So for you, what would mint chocolate chip need to do? Not suck.
Yeah.
Not be disgusting.
Well,
I like it. He doesn't like it.
again, just be that thing in everyone's minds that when you think we're talking ice cream, that your mind should go more toward. I don't think that your mind goes straight to
So which
chocolate
one is
mint.
So after we've covered chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, and then Neapolitan as the combo of three, what do you think that next one is? Like if you think this ice cream joint has those four, what's the fifth one?
I like what else they have. Let me see what else. It's just I don't have one specific that I would.
But if you had to choose one, what do you think it would be? Because I do think that the mint chocolate chip is what that one would be.
Some berry. Some type of berry.
But you already have strawberry.
Right.
You think it would be another berry?
Yes.
Like a black raspberry or something?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
Also, while I was looking this up, fun fact, a question came up. Why is there no, very little grape ice cream? Even though grape is a very common flavor, like if you look at candy and all that kind of stuff. The reason is because apparently the way that grapes freeze and most of the flavor comes from the skin, it's just something that can't be... You can make it fresh right there, and it will be fine. But if you freeze it for a long time, the flavor will.
I can see that. It
work.
probably would be more of a sorbet, also.
Oh, the grape.
Yeah,
I can see that. So another snub.
Go ahead.
Cookies and cream. Cookies and cream for me doesn't deserve the place, partially because mint chocolate chip just deserves it more in my mind, and now Neapolitan deserves it more. But what it would need to do is, well, first, the common thing we're going to keep going back to. It needs to be the one that if I picture the fourth flavor in an ice cream place, it's got to be that in my mind. Well, that's
the Mount Rushmore right there.
Because it really is the Mount Rushmore right there, for sure. But also, cookies and cream to me feels like just an alternate of vanilla. Because it kind of is. It's vanilla ice cream with the little chocolate cookie chunks. So it needs to do something to really separate itself from vanilla. I don't know if that's possible for it to do, because it's kind of linked. It's like asking Moose Tracks to be unlinked with vanilla.
That's
in America.
A thing.
Moose Tracks,
It's a flavor of
like
ice
Rocky
cream?
Road. It's the same kind of... I think Moose Tracks, I think it's vanilla ice cream with little peanut butter cups and little fudge or brownie things, but it's vanilla based normally, but they have some chocolate variations. And then Rocky Road, have you heard of Rocky Road?
No.
Rocky Road's chocolate with nuts of some kind in it and marshmallow. They showed up on the top 10 sometimes. Some of these. Birthday cake was another one that showed up.
Here's
pistachio.
My other
that was an interesting
one. Oh, pistachio, yeah, that's... but one that I don't expect it to be at an ice cream shop, but for some reason, a lot of the times you find it at parties. It's Superman.
The pop, the
not the
Superman
pop, the ice cream. There's Superman ice cream.
Really?
You don't have it in your list?
No.
It's very popular among kids.
Interesting. I can only picture the pop that you get at
It has the colors, the red, blue, and white. Colors. I don't even know what the flavors are.
Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about. I just have never seen it outside of the pop.
Huh.
Interesting.
But no, if you go, so
those party tubs.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But I don't necessarily see it at every, if you go to Cold Stone or maybe Dairy Queen, they might have it.
Yeah.
But you go to the supermarket to buy it in a bucket, and they have Superman ice cream.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So to make it on the Mount Rushmore, it would need to solidify its place on the more local side instead of just the mass-produced side. Yeah. That makes sense. So I think the only snub we really have left, besides a little deeper snubs, which I'll just randomly rattle off a couple, the praline and cream showed up on some of these lists. Coffee, there's some coffee ice creams that are pretty popular.
Yes.
Pistachio, which I just mentioned. Peanut butter cup, cherry, birthday cake or cake batter. And then I think the only remaining big one that's worth discussing a tiny bit is the chocolate chip cookie dough, which I have the same argument for that I do with the cookies and cream, which is that it basically is a derivation of vanilla that is not as popular as the vanilla. I mean, people like it more by and large, I assume, because if you can have vanilla or you can have vanilla with awesome tasting stuff in it, why would you choose plain vanilla? But with the mint... you have with the Neapolitan, right? You have the advantage of double dipping on the clear three, and then with the mint, you have the one that clearly separates itself. Like it's not a fruit, and it's not a sweet candy flavor per se. It's
more like
a
toothpaste.
different one. Yeah, it's like toothpaste, exactly. If you like toothpaste flavor ice cream, drop a like. And even if you don't, drop a like, because I just reminded you to, if you enjoy this video, it helps us with YouTube algorithms and stuff. So be sure to drop a like if you enjoy this. Also, subscribe, drop a comment below letting us know what else you think we might have snubbed. And if you think we didn't snub anything, let us know what you think is the biggest snub of all. What is the one snub that rules them all? The one snub that you think, man, if there's one I'm upset that you didn't have on either of your 4s, or Joseph you didn't have on your 4, or Carlo you didn't have on your 4, let us know, and we will respond. See y'all next time.
Go ahead, do it.
Do it.
Yeah. You had to say it, didn't you? You had to say it.
I'm contractually obligated.
There's a contract?
Yeah, you didn't sign it?
No.
I'm full owner. Just kidding. But seriously.